Star Wars 7 by 7 episode 2882. All right, we're going to talk about what is probably the last Obi-Wan Kenobi clip that we're getting before the show releases on Friday, and it does open up a couple of interesting doors that are worth chatting about. Punch it! Hey Rebel Rouser, I'm Alan Voivod and this is Star Wars 7 by 7, your daily dose of Star Wars joy. And thank you so much for joining me for it. So just as an aside, and I think this may interest you whether you're listening to the podcast version or watching the YouTube video version, when I say punch it, I'm usually looking over to one side or the other, and when I'm in the studio, I'm looking over to where either the senior producer Indy is or our studio intern Kato is. One of those two is usually in the studio with me when I'm recording the episode. I haven't been in the studio for the last couple of weeks, basically, and so me looking to the side has been sort of a habit, and there's been no cat around to join me in the studio, and such is the case today. So when you hear the punch it, that's what's going on. If you're listening to the audio version, I'm actually telling one of the cats to do it, which, you know, works about as well as telling a cat anything. But this is actually the last episode that I'm recording from a hotel room up in the San Fernando Valley in Southern California, where I've been visiting with my mom for the last couple of days, and from here I'm heading down to Anaheim, where I will start my Star Wars Celebration coverage in earnest. I'm excited to be seeing everyone again, as much as you can see of everyone with face masks on, and I'm so grateful to everybody who's reached out so far to say that they want to connect at Celebration. That's going to be very cool. And if you're looking to meet a bunch of podcasters all in one place, well, then the podcast meetup that's happening at Celebration is something you should probably check out. I am going to be there. It's on Thursday the 26th at 7 p.m. at the Anaheim Hilton Mix Lounge. There'll be folks there from more than 30 different Star Wars podcasts, so it's going to be pretty amazing, and I hope to see you there as well. All right, so I digress, so let's talk about the Kenobi clip that hit social media, and I feel like this has to be the last clip because we are really so close to the release of the series, and they really have been putting on a full court media press over this. I think it's been trending on Twitter for months, basically. Like, Kenobi has been a trending topic on Twitter regularly, and I do try to look at it from a non-Star Wars perspective, so that way I'm not just getting it because, oh yeah, that's what I like in my Star Wars feed, you know, just burner account kind of stuff, basically. But yeah, it's been trending like crazy. So just the hype, the build-up, the excitement, wellspring for it is already there, and I don't think they need to necessarily do anything else at this point. But this Kenobi clip, what's particularly interesting about it is that it expands that conversation that we have seen previously, just pieces of, with Owen and Obi-Wan, where Obi-Wan says the boy must be trained, and Owen says, oh yeah, like you train his father, and then Obi-Wan just looks downcast as a result of that burn. So this new clip gives us more of that scene, and it looks like Obi-Wan is kind of coming out from hiding in whatever this, you know, little sheltered place is. So some sort of meeting has been arranged with Owen and Obi-Wan, where I guess Obi-Wan isn't coming out to the Lars farmstead, and basically Owen has already told him by this time that he doesn't want Obi-Wan anywhere near them anyway. That's in stuff that we've talked about in other stories that we talked about during our run-up to the whole Obi-Wan Kenobi series. So yeah, that sort of setup, and Obi-Wan just kind of uncurling himself from deep in a corner of this thing, that's one particularly notable thing. Another notable thing is Obi-Wan asking Owen if he's okay, and presumably this "is he okay" question is referring to young Luke Skywalker. But what an interesting question to ask when Obi-Wan has been spying on the Lars farmstead and can see Luke Skywalker sitting on top of the roof of the building and whatnot. So I wonder if that means that he fell down and Owen just wanted to make sure he was okay, or excuse me, Obi-Wan just wanted to make sure that he was okay from a fall from that, or something else happened. But it's just interesting to hear Obi-Wan deliver an "is he okay" question, which means that something happened to Luke. Something does happen to him in this series. And then Owen's response is the other remarkable thing, where he says, you don't care if he's okay, you just want to know if he's showing. And presumably this, of course, means that he's demonstrating force powers of some kind. And when you stop to think about that, it's really kind of an amazing question, because it opens up your mind to the idea that it was by no means certain that the children of Anakin Skywalker would actually turn out to be force sensitive, let alone strong enough in the force to be able to defeat Anakin as Vader, and also the Emperor for that matter. So when we talk about hope surviving as a tagline for the series, that is part of the thing that can help keep Obi-Wan's hope alive. The fact that Luke could possibly start demonstrating some ability with the Force, even just some native, untrained, untutored, just something instinctual, something manifesting itself. And one thing that also brought to mind is whether anyone has asked that question of Brea and Bail Organa about their adopted daughter Leia. I can't say for sure when it is that Obi-Wan and Bail are in contact with each other, or if they have been in contact with each other this whole time, however infrequently, but could also be Yoda as well. But if they're talking to the Organas and they're hearing that Leia isn't necessarily demonstrating any particular force powers, then it becomes even more crucial for Obi-Wan to be focused on Luke Skywalker and need to know whether he is developing any sort of force sensitivity whatsoever. And meanwhile, Owen's position is supported for all intents and purposes by stuff that Reva is yelling in another clip, and I think that clip is only on TV or something because I haven't been able to find it online, but basically she's yelling that the Jedi have failed you and there's no sense, trying to help them or hide them, and where's Obi-Wan Kenobi? It does make you wonder whether that scene or where she's, delivering those lines, whether that's happening on Tatooine, but it seems kind of unlikely because of the fact that Vader, in stories that take place after the events of A New Hope, goes to Tatooine and goes to investigate Obi-Wan's home and says, how clever you were that you kept him in the one place that I would probably never think to look on Tatooine. So it seems like any possible idea that the Inquisitors might have that Obi-Wan could be on Tatooine would have caught Vader's attention at some point. So I feel like that line is being delivered in some other situation. And so that's what I've got for you on this episode, just looking deeper at those final little moments in that clip that has been appearing on social media with the extended conversation between Obi-Wan and Owen Lars, and that is going to do it for this episode of the show. It just remains for me to say thank you so much for joining me for it, as always, and may the Force be with you wherever in the world you may be.
Star Wars 7x7 is not endorsed or sponsored yet by Lucasfilm Limited, Disney, or 20th Century Fox, and is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Star Wars, the Star Wars logo, all names and pictures of Star Wars characters, vehicles, and any other Star Wars-related items are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of Lucasfilm Limited, or their respective trademark and copyright holders. May the Force be with them. All original content is copyright 2021 by Star Wars 7x7. We hope you love it.